Luis King Kong Ortiz may face Travis Kaufman on the Wilder Fury undercard. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, it's looking like Ego Rumor Mill, Luis King Kong Ortiz may face Travis Kaufman. 32-2 is his record on the Wilder Fury card, on the undercard. And I want to talk about it. Travis Kaufman, some of you guys may not know him. He's not like a huge name, but he's been in there with Amir Mansour. He lost that fight. He had a fight with Chris Arreola. You know, those are probably the bigger names that he fought. Now, new media style. We gotta unpack this and you know, talk about this. Now, I know because of the name Travis Kaufman, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. That's not a fight that anybody was just really requesting or checking for or anything like that. However, we know the game. See, what's going to happen, old media, they're going to try to spin it like, oh, this is ridiculous. Why is Luis Ortiz fighting Travis Kaufman? Yada, yada, yada. But we know why he would be fighting a guy like Travis Kaufman. First of all, you have to understand the heavyweight division currently has certain tiers. The top tier would be, I would say, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Those guys are either champions or former champions, lineal champions, things like that. Just below that, I would say you have Dillian Whyte, you have Gerald Big Baby Miller, you have Luis Ortiz, and guys who are just maybe have one loss or really good, but they don't have the resume, or really good and they tried for a title and they came up short, lost to a guy who is or was a champion, stuff like that, or would become a champion. And then below that, you have probably like the prospects, the Daniel Dubois, the Joe Joyce, Tony Yokas, you know, guys we still have question marks about, you know, the Ajagba, the FA dude, you know, guys that look good in the ring and their performances, but we don't know enough about them because they haven't fought at the highest level. And then you would have like the people who are kind of like middle of the pack type fighters, guys with maybe a couple losses, stuff like that, right? And we know the story, the backstory between Dillian Whyte and Luis King Kong Ortiz. Luis Ortiz offered to fight Dillian Whyte and him fight on the Wilder Fury card. That was rejected. Then Luis Ortiz's team says, we'll fight you. What about December 22nd? That's the date we already had scheduled for the UK. Luis Ortiz was like, I got to teach him to respect his elders. I'll come off the Wilder Fury card and fight you on that date, right? Then we heard Eddie Hearn do interviews, and Eddie Hearns was like, he says the leading candidate is Derek Chisora, right? He said that's the front runner. That's what we're trying to make, Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora. And then he mentioned Luis Ortiz and Dominic Breazeale as other options. Yet time went on and went on. Derek Chisora, Dillian Whyte still hasn't been announced to the public. And from the last thing I heard from Eddie Hearns in an interview, it's looking like that's a non-starter for December, that particular rematch, Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora 2. Right? Because they're far apart on the money. Derek Chisora signed with David Hay from management, so I don't know if that complicated things, etc. So meanwhile, we have to wait to hear who Dillian Whyte's going to fight, but it doesn't look like it's going to be Derek Chisora. And this whole time, they were investing on Derek Chisora, but Luis Ortiz was raising his hand saying, yo, I'm ready. Fight on Wilder Fury, or I'll fight you on December 22nd. So, you know, I don't blame, this is what happens to fighters. A lot of times Cuban fighters, slick fighters, you know, guys that are consider high risk, low reward, shit like that. This is what happens. They get avoided people don't fight. And the thing is, I don't know if Dillian Whyte per se himself wouldn't take a Luis Ortiz fight, because he seems pretty about it, but his management didn't seem like they're in a rush to make the fight. And that's who's in charge of your career and booking your next gig. You know, you listen to Tony Bellew. He did an interview with Sky, and Tony Bellew says that he talked to Eddie Hearn on the phone, and he told him to make the Usyk fight. He said, do whatever you got to do to make the Usyk fight. And he says, on record, Tony Bellew says, Eddie Hearn says, hey, but Tone, this is a dangerous fight. This is a dangerous fight for you. You sure you want me to make it? I mean, there's other options. He said something like that. And then Tony Bellew said, make the fucking fight. And then the fight was made. So let's not play games. You know, does Luis Ortiz, does Eddie Hearn want to make that with Dillian Whyte, Barry Hearn, the people that are leading Dillian Whyte's career, you know? And as a result, if he can't get those fights, then he was already going to fight on this card. You know, who do you want to see him fight? You get what I'm saying? Like, Gerald Miller's fighting in November. So, like, what name do you want to see him fight? I think Gerald Washington might be on this card too. Stuff like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, this is what happens when fighters get avoided. Fighters get avoided. Nobody's like chomping at the bit to fight them. And then when they fight the Travis Kaufmans of the world, people scoff and get mad at that too. We're not playing that game. You know, new media. We know exactly why Luis Ortiz would fight a name like that. He already fought Wilder. So, you know, you think he wouldn't fight Dillian Whyte? But the powers that be got to make the fight. You know, they have to want to put Dillian Whyte in there with Luis Ortiz or Gerald Miller or whatever fight that you consider to be a better fight, you know? And that's just the way it is. You know, people are going to try to come down on Luis Ortiz like, this is ridiculous. Why is he fighting? But in the comments section, let me know a realistic person that you know that had been seeking a Luis Ortiz fight and making moves to fight him in December, you know, and then post the receipts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.